containing the ID, which is this ID, number 3, which is the primary key. Then the second TD is here to here, which will contain the name, this name. Then the next one with the IP over here. And finally, we want to create a clickable link. So we use another variable called administer, which we created from here. So here we created a string which would then populate this cell here with a clickable link. This is called the anchor tag. Anchor tag starts from here. This is the opening anchor tag, and this is the closing anchor tag. And here is the link that you want to show in the anchor tag. Anchor tags are used to show links that you can click on. And when the person clicks on this link, you want to navigate to the href URL. So we use the href property to specify the URL that is supposed to go to. And over here, it is supposed to call a script called openClient.php using the get command, the get request. The get request is different from the post. It is another way of calling scripts and passing parameters to scripts. Post will post data without showing it in the header URL. So post is usually used by forms because there is plenty of data that you need to send. But get normally is used to send data to scripts when you need only a small number of data that you need to send. That's why you don't mind showing it up here. So if you were to click on this here now, you will see that you are actually calling the openClient.php and passing the client key with the variable with the value laptop. So this is how the URL looks like for a GET request. You will see the name of the script being called. There will be a question mark followed by the data that you are sending. And it is a similar format for post where you have a key and a value. The difference now is that you'll be able to see in the URL box here. So what we are doing is actually sending the client key and then appending it to the name of the computer. This name comes from the result of your execution here. So you're embedding the name into your table. So each one of these will be a different name. So that is the reason why we use this string administer to embed the name, so that every one of these will have different names embedded inside the URL here as a parameter to the OpenClient PHP script. So when you click on administer here, it will post this to OpenClient, and OpenClient will receive it. OpenClient will then extract the key and the value. You will check first whether the client key has been set. That means whether you click on this. If it has been set, you will then check whether it's empty. If it's not empty, then you will extract the value. So the value will be this name here, and you will save it to this parameter client. After that, this client variable will be used in a form. So if you click on this now, it will use in a form to insert it here. So you will take the client variable and inject it in here. So this particular line is coming from here. Red client name, which is the label, and then over here you create an input type text, and then you inject the client variable which you extracted here. So that is how this page knows that you are supposed to administer this particular client, because you are injecting it here. So you notice how I embed PHP inside HTML? You can do it. This is allowed in HTML coding. You put an open PHP tag and the closing PHP tag, and then you are at liberty to insert whatever PHP command inside here. So the value therefore will show inside here the text box here. However, you don't want the user to be able to edit this. That is why you set it to read only. And all these are part of a form. The form starts from here and ends over here. So now, whenever you enter any command and you click on execute, you are going to post all these input values to the open client PHP script. So when you click on this execute button here, you will post the value of the client, you will post the command string, and also the execute button to this script, because this script is stated as the action for this form. So when this script receives this, it will then check whether the button execute has been clicked. If it has, then you extract the command string, and after that you will save it to the command string variable, and then it will create a file to write the command to the file. So this part is all very familiar because we have done it before, and here is we are using back the same code. So that's how it works. Then when you click the get return string will also be posting the same values to the server, or to the same script. So get result string will post the client here, which is this client, to this same script. So when this script receives it, it will check whether the get result button is clicked. If it has, it will then open the red string. It will check whether the red string text file exists. If it's not, it will just quit. Otherwise, it will open and read the result, and then save it to the variable string, and then it will create the text area and show the result down here. If you read this now, you can see it happening. So this part is also the same as what we did before previously. The only thing new about this script is this line here. This line where you inject this text input type text into the form, so that this form knows that you are managing this client. That is why we put this line here. So this is how it works, and now we are able to manage multiple clients. However, this is only a bare bones design. We still need to find ways to delete these unused records. Not only that, we also want to convert this file-based system into a database record system. So instead of saving to a file in the future practical walkthroughs, we want to convert this into PHP scripts, which will be able to, instead of saving to a file, we will save it to the database command string column. And then here we also want to change this to PHP script, so that instead of saving this to a file or reading from a file, we want to retrieve the return string from the column containing the return string. That column is over here. The return string and command column are at the moment unused because we are still using the file system. But in future practicals, we are going to convert these two into PHP scripts to save the command string and return string here and retrieve it from here as well. So now at this point in time, we have completed our mission, which is to be able to have a multi-client user interface, which allows us to select the client that we want to administer. And so now we can open one client for one page. So we can right click on this, open new tab for the first client, then we can administer the second one by right clicking, opening the second tab, and so on. So you can administer multiple clients simultaneously. So this is the power of having using a database to do a red pot system. It allows you to do this sort of things. So that's all for this practical walkthrough. Thank you for watching.